After beating the odds,
You all doubted me, so I couldn't do it. The all said I couldn't do it. Look at me now. Look at me.
Newcastle United is on fire. So from the Osula game-changing moment,
You all laughed at me. Well, I have to say, you're not laughing now, are you?
to the new midfield dominance, we'll also reveal the genius tactic Eddie Howe used to destroy Manchester United. As per, join us as we'll break it all down and discuss the things we learned from Newcastle United to Manchester United 1.
Let's go.
So we firstly learned that William Osula shined and produced one of the most dramatic moments of the match despite being on the pitch for only a matter of minutes. Officially having a 7.7 rating, it is difficult to judge a performance with such limited involvement, yet the impact he made in that brief cameo was undeniable. Introduced late in the game, Osula played just 5 minutes but still managed to leave a decisive mark. In that time he registered only 6 touches, yet one of them changed the outcome of the match. His single shot of the evening resulted in the winning goal. Statistically, it was a low probability chance, carrying an expected goals value of just 0.05, but the finish itself was exceptional. The strike was powerful and precise, the sort of effort worthy of deciding any contest. That late goal did more than simply secure the result. It etched Osula into the record books. He became the only substitute in Premier League history to score a 90-minute winner against Manchester United, a remarkable feat for a player who had previously appeared to be edging closer to the exit door at the club. Interestingly, William Osula's top speed against Manchester United, 36.3 kilometers per hour, was the highest recorded by a striker in the Premier League this season. The moment also highlighted the trust shown by Eddie Howe. The Newcastle manager opted to send on Osula instead of other attacking options, including Wissa, and the decision paid off spectacularly. Speaking after the match, Howe revealed that the forward's commitment in training had caught his attention. According to the manager, Osula had asked for 10 additional finishing attempts after a training session the day before the match and converted 8 of them. Howe noted that he strongly believes effort in preparation is often rewarded on the pitch, and on this occasion Osula's determination translated directly into a decisive goal. Osula himself reacted with emotion following the final whistle, posting a message of gratitude and saying, "Thank you, Jesus Christ," after scoring the late winner against Manchester United. The moment also caught the attention of Manchester United youngster Chido Obi, who was seen liking and commenting on Osula's post on Instagram. There is also a striking piece of history behind the goal. Back in 2014, when he was just 11 years old, Osula won Manchester United's soccer school's World Skills Final. 12 years later, he returned to haunt the same club, scoring a dramatic winner for Newcastle against them. The sequence of events late in the game made the moment even more memorable. Just a minute earlier, in the 89th minute, Aaron Ramsdale had produced a stunning save to deny Joshua Zirkzee. Moments later, in the 90th minute, Osula struck the decisive goal for Newcastle. Ramsdale's performance itself deserved significant recognition. Selected ahead of the out-of-form Nick Pope, the goalkeeper justified the decision with a composed and influential display. He produced 4 saves during the match, including 2 outstanding stops to deny Lenny Yoro and Zirkzee. Newcastle conceded just once despite facing 0.72 expected goals on target, and although the raw numbers suggest he prevented slightly fewer goals than expected, his interventions came at crucial moments. One of those saves, the late stop from Zirkzee, directly preserved the opportunity for Newcastle to snatch victory moments later. Earlier in the season, Ramsdale had struggled to establish himself when Pope was sidelined through injury, but this performance could represent a turning point. Delivering such a composed display in a high-pressure game will undoubtedly boost his confidence, and it raises the possibility that he may now be given an extended run in the starting lineup. After this showing, the goalkeeping position may well be his to lose. Then, Kieran Trippier delivered what could best be described as an unsung captain's performance, quietly influencing the match in a variety of ways that did not always attract the headlines. Operating with the composure and authority expected from a leader, he finished the game with a 7.1 rating after producing a display built on experience, defensive discipline, and intelligent use of the ball. Trippier was heavily involved throughout, registering the most touches of any player on the pitch with 89, a clear reflection of how frequently Newcastle relied on him during both defensive phases and in possession. His influence was felt early on in a defensive duel with Matheus Cunha. The ex-Wolves forward initially looked threatening, but Trippier gradually imposed himself physically and positionally, disrupting Cunha's rhythm and effectively removing him from the contest. As the game progressed, the Newcastle captain's reading of the play and ability to close down space became increasingly important, particularly as he organized the back line and ensured the defensive shape remained intact. Trippier's contribution was not limited to defensive work. He also played a decisive role in the attacking sequence that ultimately produced the winning goal, delivering the pass down the line that sparked the move. In total, he recorded 1 assist and created a further key opportunity, while attempting 4 crosses and completing 1 accurately. His passing overall was steady rather than spectacular, completing 36 of his 50 attempts for a 72% success rate, but he consistently made sensible decisions that helped Newcastle retain structure and momentum. Defensively, however, was where his performance truly stood out. Trippier accumulated an impressive 16 defensive contributions across the match, demonstrating just how much work he put in to secure the result. He attempted 4 tackles and won 3 of them, while also recording 2 interceptions that disrupted Manchester United's attacking transitions. In addition, he produced 10 clearances, repeatedly relieving pressure when Newcastle were forced deeper into their own half. Although he did not register any blocked shots, he still made 3 recoveries to regain possession in important areas. His work in duels also highlighted the combative edge he brought to the contest. Trippier contested 11 ground duels and came out on top in 6 of them, while also competing strongly in the air, winning 4 of his 10 aerial battles. Inevitably, playing such an active defensive role meant he occasionally conceded fouls or was beaten, finishing with 2 fouls committed and being dribbled past 3 times. But overall, his influence in controlling wide areas and limiting opposition threats was significant. Beyond the numbers, Trippier's leadership was evident throughout the game. He marshaled the defensive line effectively, communicated constantly with his teammates, and ensured Newcastle remained organized under pressure. With Tyno still sidelined for several weeks, this performance served as a timely reminder of Trippier's enduring value to the side. The veteran fullback from Bury may no longer possess the same pace he once had, but his intelligence, positioning, and experience remain invaluable assets. If he can reproduce this level in the important matches ahead, Newcastle will benefit greatly from having such a seasoned figure guiding the defense. Then we also learned about the new midfield dominance. Newcastle's midfield ultimately dictated the rhythm of the game, and at the heart of that dominance was Joelinton, who delivered another physically imposing display. With a 7.2 rating, the Brazilian was relentless in his duel with compatriot Casemiro, repeatedly overpowering him in midfield battles and driving Newcastle forward with aggression. Although he did blaze 1 effort high into the Lees' end, the rest of his performance was virtually flawless. Joelinton finished the match with 68 touches and won an impressive 12 duels, underlining how central he was to Newcastle's midfield control. His ability to carry the ball forward also stood out, completing both of his attempted take-ons and producing the most successful dribbles of any Newcastle player. In attacking phases, he managed 10 entries into the final third, constantly pushing the team higher up the pitch. Defensively, Joelinton contributed just as much as he did going forward. He regained possession 6 times, added 2 tackles, and even chipped in with 2 clearances as Newcastle fought to maintain their structure. His dominance in the air was equally notable, winning 7 aerial duels, while drawing 2 fouls as he battled through midfield traffic. The Brazilian's influence could be seen across the pitch, something reflected in his heat map, which showed just how much ground he covered during the contest. Eddie Howe later summed up his impact perfectly, remarking that when Joelinton performs at that level, it's like having 2 players. The only blemish on his night was the inevitable yellow card, and at one point he had to be physically pulled away by Sandro Tonali to avoid collecting a second booking. Tonali himself produced another commanding display in midfield, arriving at the stadium in style in a Ferrari 296 GTS before delivering a masterclass once the match began. The Italian midfielder earned a 7.9 rating after orchestrating Newcastle's play and creating more chances than any of his teammates. His work rate was immense throughout the game. He covered large distances with the ball, carrying it 234.6 meters across 16 carries, including 3 progressive runs that advanced Newcastle into dangerous areas. With 51 touches, he remained constantly involved, moving across the midfield to link play and maintain tempo. Tonali's tireless energy meant Newcastle rarely looked like they were struggling, even when the game became physically demanding. In defensive phases, he added 4 defensive contributions, including 2 interceptions that halted opposition attacks, 1 clearance, and a blocked shot. He also recovered possession 5 times and competed in 5 ground duels, winning 1 of them. His positioning and awareness meant he was rarely beaten, finishing the game without being dribbled past. On the ball, he attempted 35 passes and completed 27 of them, a 77% success rate. 17 of those successful passes came in the opposition half, while he completed 10 of 12 in his own half. Tonali's creativity was evident too, producing 3 key passes, 2 big chances created and 4 crosses, 2 of which found their target. He also attempted 10 long balls, successfully completing 6 as he looked to stretch the play. By the closing stages, he appeared to suffer from cramp after such relentless running, a clear indication of how much energy he had invested in the performance. His display did not go unnoticed either, with rival fans dreaming of signing he. Sadly, they can keep on dreaming about signing him. Then another talking point in midfield came with Jacob Ramsey, whose evening ended in controversy. The referee issued him a second yellow card for simulation after a challenge in which he appeared to simply stumble, a decision widely criticised afterwards. Former Premier League referee Mark Halsey later stated that the dismissal was incorrect.
There were 2 big talking points in the first half at St James's Park, Newcastle United, Manchester United, where Jacob Ramsey was controversially sent off for a second yellow card for simulation. In my opinion, it wasn't simulation. You see Jacob Ramsey go into the box trying to win the ball. The Manchester United keeper, Senny Lamans, comes out and there is minimal contact and Jacob goes down. For me, Peter Banks has gone looking for trouble. It's not simulation. He should have just give the goal kick and got back up the pitch. The second incident, we saw Anthony Gordon go into the box with Bruno Fernandes behind him, and you can clearly see that Bruno clips Anthony Gordon's knee and Anthony Gordon goes down. For me, it's a definite penalty and the correct decision.
Although Ramsey could have little complaint about his initial booking, which had been unnecessary. Before his sending off, however, Ramsey had made a noticeable impact during his 45 minutes on the pitch. Despite his relatively short appearance, Ramsey managed 21 touches and was extremely tidy in possession. He completed 16 of his 17 passes, an impressive 94% accuracy rate. In the attacking half, he was particularly effective, successfully completing 11 of 12 passes, while also maintaining perfection in his own half with 5 passes from 5 attempts. Defensively, he remained active as well, recording 4 defensive contributions, including 4 tackles, 2 of which he won, alongside 3 recoveries. He also competed strongly in physical battles, winning 4 of his 5 ground duels. Although he committed 2 fouls, he was not dribbled past once, highlighting his defensive awareness during the time he spent on the pitch. In attack, apart from Osula grabbing the headlines, Anthony Gordon once again played a decisive role in the match, even if much of his impact came from the penalty spot rather than open play. The forward earned Newcastle a crucial spot kick and then stepped up to convert it with confidence, striking the ball cleanly to underline his growing reputation as a dependable penalty taker. It was another composed moment from the birthday boy, who finished the match with a strong 7.9 rating. Statistically, Gordon produced the highest expected goals figure of any player, highlighting how frequently he found himself in dangerous scoring positions. His single goal came from a 0.80 expected goals on target value, reflecting the quality of the chance he converted. Gordon remained active in attack throughout the game and registered the most shots of any player with 3 attempts, 2 of which were on target, giving him a shot accuracy of 67%. While he continues to adapt to operating through the middle, there is still a sense that his natural game would flourish more on the left wing where he can attack defenders directly. Nevertheless, his overall contribution was solid. He created 2 chances for teammates and even won the penalty himself, underlining his willingness to take responsibility in key moments. In possession, he was tidy, completing 16 of his 20 passes for an 80% success rate, while also generating a 0.13 modest expected assists figure. Beyond his attacking numbers, Gordon's defensive efforts stood out just as much. He recorded 2 defensive contributions, including a successful tackle and a clearance, while recovering possession 5 times during the match. His work rate in physical duels was particularly impressive, winning 5 of 8 ground battles and competing in 4 aerial duels, winning 1 of them. He also drew a foul and notably was never dribbled past, showing a strong defensive discipline even while playing in an advanced role. However, more importantly, the tactical framework behind Newcastle's performance also deserves significant attention. Particularly the work of Eddie Howe. One of Howe's most underrated qualities as a manager is how well drilled his team is when sustaining attacking pressure high up the pitch. Newcastle consistently applied structural principles often associated with elite sides, particularly through the use of positional triangles that allowed them to maintain possession and circulate the ball effectively around pressure. These patterns repeatedly disrupted Manchester United's attempts to implement their diamond press. Throughout the match, Newcastle manipulated United's defensive structure by forcing play to one side of the pitch. When Matheus Cunha moved inward to close space, Kieran Trippier often found himself free on the flank. From there, Dan Burn could switch play quickly to exploit the spare man, creating overloads that United struggled to handle. This positional intelligence allowed Newcastle to bypass the press time and time again. Defensively, Newcastle also demonstrated impressive organisation. With 11 players on the pitch, they pressed man-to-man aggressively before dropping into a compact 4-5-1 mid-block when required. What made their display even more impressive was how well they maintained their pressing structure after being reduced to 10 men. While many teams would retreat into a deep defensive shape, Newcastle continued to press with intensity and coordination, even outperforming Manchester United's pressing efforts despite their numerical disadvantage. Lewis Hall's positioning behind the press helped cut off passing lanes, something Manchester United struggled to replicate. Possession statistics in the second half also reflected Newcastle's tactical superiority. They controlled the ball for long spells while still generating more attacking threat, finishing with a higher expected goals tally than Manchester United, 1.17 compared to the 0.74 for Manchester United. Achieving that while playing with 10 men only emphasized the quality of Howe's tactical preparation. Rather than retreating into a traditional 4-4-1 defensive block, Howe made the bold decision to defend in a 4-3-2 shape, maintaining pressure on the opposition and ensuring Newcastle remained dangerous in transition. It was a courageous approach, and on the night, it completely outclassed Michael Carrick's setup. And if you would like to know the transfer deals Newcastle United is cooking behind the scenes, click the video link on screen now.